time. The birds.
You're toast! I'm right.
Shouldn't let your guard down. I'm number 11 of the Fatui Harbingers, codenamed Childe, but I also go by Tartaglia.
Tartaglia, or Childe, however you want to call him, I don't know, is a Hydro Bow user. He is also a Harbinger, and the very first Harbinger that we ever got in Genshin Impact. He predates Scaramouche, and he also is going to predate probably the next Harbinger, which hopefully is going to be this girl. Alright, let's get started with the details. Now, he's a primary DPS focused character. Of course, you're going to be focused on the most important stats. Crit rate and crit damage are going to be the stats that you focus on the most. But don't forget about these two other stats, Elemental Mastery and Attack. And this will get you the best DPS output for Childe there is. Next up is his weapons. He's a very 5-star oriented character, but there's also some 4 stars you can go for. First up, the 5 stars. The weapons I recommend is going to be Polar Star, Thundering Pulse, Hunter's Path, and Aqua Simulacra. For your 4 stars, you can go ahead and use a Moon's Moon, a Viridescent Hunt, Blackcliff Warbow, for you free to plays, and I feel so sorry for you guys, Prototype Crescent. Next up, his artifacts. Now, I don't have his best in slot, but his best in slot is going to be Nymph's Dream. If you don't have that, you can use Heart of Depth. Nymph's Dream just gets a better... It's just better in a lot more situations, honestly. If you don't have any Nymph's Dream set, and honestly, who the hell would go and grind for that? I don't know who's sane enough, but you can go ahead and use the Heart of Depth set if you don't have a Nymph's Dream set. Your main stats for your sands: attack percentage, goblet, hydro damage bonus, circlet, crit rate, or crit damage. Constellations. Now, there's a lot of constellations that a lot of people like to talk about. I didn't mean to get another constellation for this character. I was rolling for Fremine, did 110 roll, and got him. This is so sad. C1 will decrease the cooldown for Foul Legacy Raging Tide. We'll get into that later. This is really good as, well, you don't have to deal with that god-awful cooldown. Next up is a C3. This is going to help you get more damage off your E and your skill. And last but not least is going to be his C6. His C6 is going to help him as it resets the cooldown for your skill. And I don't have to tell you how good that is. That is insanely good. For talents, I recommend you go ahead and focus on your skill, then your burst, and then finally your normal attack. Your normal attack doesn't really have a lot of use here, so like just don't focus on it, I guess. His first passive talent is going to be extending his Riptide duration. His next passive talent, if he deals any crit hits in his Foul Legacy form, he will apply Riptide. And his last passive talent, probably being the most useful passive talent there is in this game, increases your own party member's normal attack level by 1. Jesus, that is so useful. Let's talk about his team comps. First up is going to be his National/Melt team. Yeah, this team is a pretty copium IMO. Melt Childe is very weird to play with. It isn't bad per se, it's just super weird to play. Gunling is able to give you an attack buff, Fazua is able to swirl, and Bennett is able to give you that oh so sweet attack buff. This team is getting a 8 out of 10. Next up is a Hyper Bloom Childe team. If you don't have Raiden Shogun, you can replace her with a Beidou if you want that. Childe takes very full control of this team. I'm not gonna deny Raiden Shogun kind of carries this team, but we won't really talk much about that. Baijo is able to heal, Nahida is able to just completely and utterly break the whole system of this game, and Raiden Shogun able to battery literally everyone in the team. This team is getting a 9 out of 10. And the last team I'm going to be talking about is going to be an Electro Charge/Taser team. Raiden Shogun is a full-on battery here. Beidou's able to give you an attack buff if you are at C4 with her, and she's really broken at C6. I won't talk much about that. And Kokomi able to heal. This team is getting a 9 out of 10. And that's it for my Childe guide. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.